Alright, so I am back, and today we're going to do the final look at the Nero Rex in combined mode. So, first off, I want to take a look at the weapons, so let's get the swords out of the way. So here's guns for the original set. Black plastic with this gunmetal gray detailing throughout the guns. And there's a little bit more silver back here. And yeah. One thing I will point out though, I've always had this kind of issue. That's really super loose there. And also, so is it this one? Yeah, this one is pretty loose coming in and out. It holds fine, but it comes out pretty easily. And this was the same on my first Predaking as well. He was pretty loose. That's why I always hate having guns form a big gun. Not only does it look a little like a mess, but also in cases like this where it just doesn't pay off. Over here, though, so we've got the silver paint back here. It's all gray plastic, with silver paint here and here. Instead of the gunmetal, we've got that metallic purple over the whole thing. You can see there's little details, little red details here, and here, there. We got this little line painted there. So it's overall painted better, I'd say. Just by a hair, just because of those little bits of red. Now, all the guns, as you can see, are pretty much on there, and this thing is very well toleranced. So they fixed that. They fixed something else that I'm going to show you in combined mode. I didn't notice until when I was putting them together. And I'll show you that too. But yeah, so this gun is much more sturdy, and I'm sure it still comes apart, right? Yeah, it's gonna come apart, but it's really in there. There we go. So yeah, really nice. I really like that. Slide that back in. Set those off to the side, and then we'll take a look at the swords. I don't like the swords, you know that. So this is this brownish gold plastic with gold paint over the top. Black handle. Looks good if you like this kind of sword. I don't, so I think it looks okay. I'm not going to fault the design of the sword here, just it's not my taste. Here we've got black plastic throughout with this, it's like a blue steel color on the blade. I think it makes it really stand out a little bit more. And it also feels a little bit more finished, having like the handles for the big swords for Razor Claw, having those, all the handles, but all of them painted black. It really sets it apart from the blades of the sword. Whereas this, it just kind of all blends together into one big sword. This, I mean, they both do that, of course, but you know what I mean. It's just like they all just, each individual sword knife just looks like it's one piece, whereas these look more like there's a handle and there's a blade. One thing I will point out though is the paint is a little sloppy. Let's see this side, you can see it there. A little bit there, a little bit there. But this side is, I mean, that is, I mean, look at this. It goes from here, there, and there. That's pretty bad. So it's while it's on the surface a better designed or better idea on the painting of the sword, execution was not as well as some of the other bits. Alright, so let's get fellow Rex out. I'm trying to get the legs extended properly as each other, or in line with each other, so that they all look the same height. I don't think I did. But oh well. We'll take the camera up. Alright. So he looks a little bit taller because he's got a higher setting. The one thing I've noticed is that the legs for Razor Claw slide pretty smoothly here. They're a lot more tightly toleranced on here. So that's a good thing. So you can get those higher stances without it falling apart. But yeah, we've already looked at all the paint differences. The one thing I will say, though, is for me, my eyes kind of drift more to the big black purple guy as opposed to the multicolor red and yellow guy. Come on. There we go. And I'm not sitting here bashing him again. Like I said, I think they both look great, but my eyes just seem to want to go to the big shadow on the wall kind of thing. Feet, let's see here. Well, I'm going to take them apart briefly at the end of this video so I can show you the feet individually. Hands, as you can see, these are the gray plastic, a little silver detailing here across the knuckle and then across the knuckles here. This one, the silver detailing going here and here, but also it's got a purple around it, and then also silver detailing going across here. And then the king claws that just slide on, which I think one part of me wants to say they look great, but another part of me says I don't think they look that good because they have the try and zoom in on them. It's a good zoom. As you can see, it's got the lines there where the claws attach in, and I don't like that look. It works, but not as well as I would like. It puts it close to being in line with the Unique Toys hands, but the Unique Toy Predaking hands still top it hands down. I'm sorry for all those people that love Rex and everything about it and think the Unique Toys one is trash. The hands are not trash. They are fully articulated, and they have those claws built in stock. So it's just, for me, it's that they had the better hands. They also have the better big sword, but that's a different conversation. But yeah, that's really, there's not really much more to show on him. Because like I said, we've seen it all. I'll do a scale comparison here real quick too. So here they are with the legends. And Prime. And a Classic Seeker. So I think those, I think they look good. It depends on your own personal preference on scale. Some people might say this works great. Some people might say that they're too small. Some people might say they're too big. It's hard to say. But they do look good. I think if you're going for combined mode scale, these guys work pretty well with the Combiner Wars teams because they're going to be smaller. And aside from Devastator, which that's a different matter. And then here they are with MP Prime and an MP Car. So this here, I will say though, feels too small. They feel like they're just too small to really work in this scale. Individual bots I think work, but combine mode, I don't feel this is appropriate for MP anymore. Especially with the Toy World Devastator looming, and it's like, okay, they're gonna redo the scale for combiners. That's where I think I want to see a Predaking combiner in that scale. That would be awesome. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't think it works in MP, unless of course you do it on a different shelf. Then whatever. Let's see what else. I guess that's really it. So overall rating on Nero Rex before I take the feet apart so I can show you the feet is I'm gonna give this set a 10 out of 10. Even though it's a paint scheme that I don't think I would have ever sat there and said, oh man, I want this. And it's not like it's a paint scheme that's like, oh man, this is from that one episode. No, it's just a complete random paint scheme. But they unified the colors and it made it look great. They added some extra paint detailing. They did a few little tweaks on remolds, and tolerance, so that it's a better toleranced combiner. And just overall just better unified combiner than the original Rex. And I love the original Rex. I think he's just about great. Just about perfect. But this guy fixed all of the issues I had with Rex. Every one of them. So I say, you know, it's a better figure. And the only issues I really had were some tolerance issues. Without having to dismantle the figures to fix certain things, they seem to pull it off a little bit easier. Let me dismantle these. Again, congratulations to Matt for winning this guy. I am insanely jealous now. I do want to keep this, but I won't. And I'll get him out to you. It should be out before this video even airs, but just in case. I'm just trying to take the feet apart so I can show you this. There we go. That's a lot of work. We'll just do this one since they're the same. Alright, so just to look at the paint real quick, you see this is just gray plastic, silver detailing here, 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 and across here. You see that's where I put the little rubber pad things there and there and there. They're not sticking on very well. Here he's got the it's gray plastic, but it's painted purple, and then silver detail in there and inside there rather than just the whole piece. Now, what I want to show off with the remolding bit, this was an issue I had with original Predaking, was you could see this ball joint here. See, it's got some gaps in there in the ball itself, which makes it a little bit more loose because it's got less surface area touching surface area, so it cannot be as tightly toleranced because it's half a ball in that ball joint. It's just about half of it's been carved away. With the remold, it's a full ball socket. And it is very well toleranced. It's a lot tighter. It's actually, there's a couple points where it's actually kind of scary tight. But overall, it's very nice. Works very well. Just, it's a good tolerance ball joint. And it's a full ball. rather than half ball. So they did a little bit more retooling, and it's getting me more and more irritated the more I think about it, because it's like they really, really should re-release the set in the original colors with the better paint and the better tolerance joints, and just all around, just come on. There's no reason not to. But that's just me. So anyway, 10 out of 10. I think it's great. I think it's definitely worth between $450 and $500. I wouldn't go too crazy with it, but yeah, that's I think that's a pretty fair price for it. So yeah, there you go.